life and property.
Yeah.
What could that be more than a friend?
Yeah.
So we are friends.
We are friends, even though sometimes we have our, our issues.
It's rather unfortunate you agree with that stereotype, but when we go deeper into the show, we'll get to talk more about that.
Okay, we'll get to talk about it.
Yes.
Okay, and one thing that is important, and we'll be talking about everything about the police, because when I put it up that you are coming on the show, we have a whole lot of questions that people would want to ask you. And first, let me see if we should start with the questions or let's talk about community policing. This is something that is very, very important, and recently the police force has been talking a lot about it. The importance of the community participating. How important is community policing?
When you look at the functions of the police that I just mentioned, protection of life and property, maintenance of law and order, detection and prevention of crime and so on, this is not a mean task. Mm-hmm. It's something that is very difficult to achieve. Mm-hmm. And looking at the population of the Gambia Police Force, for example, compared to the population of the entire Gambia, mm-hmm. it's like we do not have a mean task. Mm-hmm. Now, we want to devise ways in which we can meet our responsibilities. Mm-hmm. Now, there are many different styles of policing. You have community policing, you have problem-oriented policing, you have democratic policing. Now, we, at our level, at the Gambia Police Force, think if we introduce community policing in the Gambia, it's going to help us in achieving our mandate. Okay. Now, what is community policing? Mm-hmm. To put it simply, it is the cooperation and partnership between the police and the community in delivering the service of the police, which I mentioned earlier. Now, issues like crime, safety, and so on, are within the society, they are within the community. Now, these are problems, and these are problems that are owned by the communities. Now, if we want to come and say, okay, we want to make sure that these problems that you are having, you don't have anymore, mm-hmm. we surely cannot go and impose on them as to how best to solve those problems. The best thing is to partner with them, coordinate with them, cooperate with them, so that we can together devise means and ways through which we can achieve the desired goals, which we all share, because there is no one who doesn't want peace and security.
Yeah, everybody loves peace and security, and you've talked about community policing and how important it is. But if you live in a community like, like the Gambia, mm-hmm. where people get to know each other, mm-hmm. and community policing, I think, requires whereby if for instance, somebody in the neighborhood is doing something wrong, we can report them to the police. Mm-hmm. But that comes with its issues too.
What issues?
You know how people will say this is the person who would report everybody around the, around the street and something.
Fatu, look at it this way. Mm. Nobody desires to have a bad element within their society. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you know that your neighbor is a thief, you'll always be on the watch. Mm-hmm. Okay, you wouldn't. In fact, if you had your way, you would either move out or devise means of having him checked or moved out. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now, community policing is not requiring members of the community to, report each other.
Yes.
Now, what we do as police officers is to ensure peace and security. Okay? Now, we are saying that this is everything that everybody needs. Okay? Now, let's work so that we'll ensure this. Now, would you rather have somebody who is out to do ill, then come out and say, well, I know of somebody, he is bad, he is not good for the society, and I think we need to do something about it. Let the police do their thing. Okay. Which would you rather do?
Yeah, it's better to let the police know.
Basically, that's what policing is, community policing is about.
Yeah, and Winter?
Thank you, Fatu. Good evening, wonderful viewers. Community policing is not about giving the community or members of the community the mandate to handle policing issues. Mm-hmm. They're just there to collaborate with the police to ensure peace and security is maintained at all costs. Mm-hmm. And we have seen very positive changes since the introduction of community policing, because it has killed the culture of silence where people hold things and say we're not going to talk about it or we're not going to involve the police because people may see us as reporters or whatever. They're seeing it as a collaboration with the police to ensure peace and security remains in our country.
Okay, and PRO, when you talk about the police in the Gambia, and out of all the messages, the comments that we have, most of them touched on the police and bribery. They said most of the time, you know, especially the ones at the traffic, would ask people for money. What are you doing about this, and is it happening?
You know, when it comes to bribery, it takes two people or two parties to be involved in bribery. That is the one who gives the bribe and the one who receives it. And we all know bribery is not good for any society. I can't sit here and deny that this does happen. Okay? But what I can tell you is that the management and command of the Gambia police force frowns at bribery and corruption. And so it has put in place mechanisms through which we can rid the police institution of bribery and corruption. We have the Human Rights Unit. We have the Professional Standards Unit. We have people who have a beef with the police, who are not satisfied with the way police have attended to them, who have been solicited bribe from, and so on, can come and complain. And then the police will investigate, and then proper measures will be taken. So I am saying this. If indeed the police are taking bribes, those who are also giving them are equally culpable. Yes.
Well, sometimes, you know, Gambians are very nice. You will see a policeman, you know, and then you just decide to give him money.
Do you call that a bribe?
No, that's what I'm saying. I said I hope people are not confusing that.
It could be easily confused. Now, I wouldn't want to go into what actually the ethics of the police teach. But under normal circumstances, even if you give a gift to a police officer, wherever it may be, he has to, he or she has to let his or her superiors know that so-and-so has given me a gift. Okay? But even
is there a limit to that as to how much? Because maybe there is an amount that you can receive without telling.
No, there is no limit to that.
So every amount should be reported. You have to tell someone, your superior.
Yes, that is what the ethics say.
Okay, we will take a break right now, and when we come back, the show will continue. Let's take a quick break.
We have probably heard 100 times already is that the police is your friend. And the truth is, they really are your friends. Persons whose life work is simply to keep you, your family and property safe, as well as protect you by ensuring stability and order is most definitely, in my book, a dear darling friend. Hi there, you watching the Viewers Tube with me, Tene, only on the Fatu Show. But talking about what the work of the Gambia Police Force is cut out to be, Dio's job today, mine, is to bring you what our Facebook followers had to say. Before I go any further, I am obliged to divulge that the debate was pretty intense, yet interesting. I mean, it went from good, bad, and even some ugly kind of sneaking in between. So, how do you want it? Hot, red, fiery, or just cool eyes? Sold. I'll give you the cool eyes. First and foremost, as we kick off, Nyasi Bakari, who wrote, they are here to protect and guide the people of the Gambia, and therefore they should be respected everywhere in the country. Yusuf Ahmad Tanko added, the Gambia police are alert and friendly. Gee, nice, huh? For Suleiman Toure, the police are part of the society, and the society part of the police as well. These are two bodies of the same father and mother. Respect to the police. Technically, I agree too. Abby Bojang handing out applause.